And there we go.
Okay, I think we're live. Sweet. What is up, friendly neighborhood nerds? We're starting a little earlier than what's scheduled on the YouTube. You'll see like there's a countdown that was supposed to mean that we were going to start at in 15 minutes from now, but we were just like, fuck it. And we decided to go right into it. So, welcome, friendly neighborhood nerds. I got Miracle Man here, and I have Rob Work. So this is a very exciting episode. We're going to talk about a lot of comic book stuff. So, how have you guys been doing? What's new?
I personally, I've been doing fantastic. I went out to the LCS today, and not my normal LCS, mind you, a little hole in the wall LCS. That is a rather interesting story that I'll share later in the show. But just came back here like literally 5 minutes before I got on the stream.
Oh, nice. Good deal. It's weird going to an LCS that's not your regular LCS, isn't it? It's
like pooping in someone else's toilet, you know? Yeah. It's like, you know what you're supposed to do, but it's kind of awkward.
See, that's the problem. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So that's why I require my own toilet. But yeah, that's cool. Rob, what's new with you? What have you been up to?
So, I am afraid to go to other people's comic book stores right now because, reasons. Some of them involved, these sorts of deals. And then other stores around in the South Florida area, they're a little even more stickler. They want you to wear gloves, and it's not because they're afraid of books. Yeah.
Gloves.
Interesting.
That might be going a bit far.
They don't want your COVID on the books. I understand it. It's a little too much. So I'll order online.
Here's the thing, and this is coming from my mom, a nurse practitioner, and my brother, who's a doctor, and they both agree on this. The thing about gloves is it's not that it's overboard. There is no overboard. Whatever precautions, if they work, are valid. But the thing about gloves is you put a glove on, and it's like you washed your hands. That's all it is. It's a fresh surface on your hand, and within 5 minutes, it's a dirty hand again. It's just made out of glove. It's just glove material.
And you go to take it off, and once you take it off where it's now inside out, you take it off, and now you're handling it where the COVID is.
Right.
It's like, oh, well, I don't need to wash my hands because I was wearing a glove. And meanwhile, ooh, look, a cookie. Don't mind if I do.
Right. And like, you take someone's credit card, you swipe someone's credit card or something, and then you're wearing gloves, and then later on you like scratch your eye or something. You gave yourself COVID. You know what I mean? Like you're not protecting yourself.
And it was like straight injection too, because you were like, let me gather up this COVID with my gloved hand and shove it right onto my face.
Right.
I mean, I want to go searching for comic books, but I want to make it safe.
Yeah.
So before we press into, we're going to talk about what you guys are reading, but I had just kind of a thing that I was thinking about the other day, and I wanted to run it by you guys. What is this is fan fiction zone right now?
Yeah.
What is your fantasy project or a thing that you absolutely want to see from established IP, whether it's movies or comics, video games, whatever? Like, what's a thing that you fantasized about where you're just like, if those fucking studio execs just listen to me one time, they're sitting on a gold mine. You know what I mean? You got anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
I think I got too old for this because I gave up hope on anybody being competent in Hollywood because they'll cobble things together, but they won't do anything direct. Like when I hear Gorr, I think that's awesome. Do I think that we're going to get the final scene being Thor holding two Mjolnirs while being the fucking sword, the Black Necro sword? I'm like, give us that, you cowards.
I hope they do.
Now, listen, I'm going to say this. I feel you on that, Rob. But, then we got Mandalorian. And, I am an OG Star Wars nerd. 1977 is in my name for a reason. As Luke Skywalker is my original hero. Princess Leia is my original crush. When I watch Empire and realize they strapped her boobies down, I am filled with rage. Could have been. But this show's going right off the fucking rails, bro. And
good.
So Mandalorian, I think, really hit it. But if you wanted to give me, if I got my dream project, for video games, it would be a Justice League game that was good as the Arkham series.
Ooh.
Okay.
Interesting.
Because they've
almost
done
like a Marvel Ultimate Alliance / Arkham style kind of, or
yes. So they kind of did that in on the Xbox platform, original Xbox platform, with Justice League Heroes, I think it was called, and it was actually a really badass game. But once you beat it, there was no reason to play it again. There was no online. It was top down. You got like 50 costumes a character, which was badass, or as many as you could do on Xbox. It was a lot. You had Red Sun Superman. You had multiple versions of Green Arrow as unlockables. It was cool.
That does sound dope.
Yeah, it was dope. But the game before that was like a side scroller Mortal Kombat style fight game for Justice League. That sucked. And I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything good since. Like nothing. So the Suicide Squad one I'm excited for because they're supposed to take down the Justice League. This game that's supposedly coming. I'm kind of stoked for that. But give me an open world environment. I want to be able to destroy the fucking Daily Planet, man. You know what I mean? Like I want to pick that big ass globe up and roll it down the street and just murder a lot of innocent civilians.
I had a thought about that once, about a cosmic open world game where you're the surfer and you're like it really focuses on the Marvel cosmic, but it's like a space open world. So you're like blasting to planets and like nowhere and like stuff like that. Like I just thought that'd be cool, but I don't know if like there's a way to make that, because it's like
you have a great idea then for a goddamn video game if you like video games, because I'm tired of the side quest bullshit. How about you make it so that you do a Silver Surfer game where you have to go and do a side quest on a planet, because the ultimate goal is if you don't do that side quest fast enough, Galactus shows up and he consumes
What's that game? Something a Sky, a
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky gaming engine, but with Silver Surfer.
That would be so cool, and that's such a good idea. Like in theory, like I was talking to Rhea about it the other day. I actually got No Man's Sky on launch because I was so enchanted by the concept.
Right.
But it was so like unwieldy. Like there's something very impersonal. So there's billions of planets in this game, but they're what's it called, procedurally generated or something.
Yeah.
To where it's like, oh, on this planet, the aliens have zebra stripes and horns. On this planet, they have leopard stripes and horns. It's like just something seems so impersonal about the world, the size of the world. So maybe something with similar mechanics to No Man's Sky, but they got to keep. I need contained,
Right. I'm with you on that. I was rather disappointed because, I remember, they were billing it like it was going to be like Jurassic fucking Park, right? Like you were going to go on, there's going to be these giant majestic creatures and you got to name them and your name would last for the whole game for everybody who ever played it. You named that character forever. But like they ended up all being like that sperm fish, the one with the fucking weird face. It looks like an old man on a Seinfeld episode. You know the one I'm talking about.
Miracle Man, you can probably tell me this. I've only known two things about that video game. One, the large open world, and two was the fact that it was not ready to go at time of launch. So a lot of these quests that you were supposed to be on, people just found themselves in an open world with nothing to do.
More or less.
Is just like that's like my normal life,
I can do that here.
Yeah, but we can get comics here. Yeah, I hear you.
I have this. I'm not going to get too into it because it's a 2-hour conversation. But I planned out the perfect Marvel DC crossover comic book series in my mind, and it's like I was telling it to my brother, and he was like a captive audience, like sitting there, like, and then what, like. It like completely blew him away, and that convinces me that it's a good idea.
We'll have to talk later. We'll take it offline. I definitely want to hear that.
Get on this.
We'll take it offline, but it starts with Frank Castle. That's all I'm going to say.
Wow, I like that starting point.
Absolutely.
I like that starting point.
Cool. So we got some friends in the chat. Oh shit, we got Danny, we got Aramis, we got Ree, we got Michael, we got Ace.
Nice.
What's up, people? So we are going to talk about what everyone has been nerding out on lately.
DC? Oh wait, no, I'm kidding.
DC, no. Ooh.
I'm
And then,
sorry, DC.
What?
That's
Yeah,
mean.
like that's. I have
cruel.
no idea. I have no idea what the future is going to hold for that publisher. Completely up in the air.
I feel very confident about his future. I feel very confident about his future. Genuinely, wholeheartedly. You know, there's a lot of doom and gloom because of all the cutouts. You know, and people getting the boot. But you know, I've spent 20 years in corporate America. Pretty much every job I've had outside of being a teenager was corporate. And DC, you know, this is what happens anytime a bigger corporation buys a smaller corporation. The first thing they do is walk in and fire everybody who makes a lot of money. And they take their job and they give it to somebody who doesn't make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. I've never been someplace where that didn't happen. And it's very normal. My company just bought out another company that was smaller. And, you know, we folded in a bunch of those positions, but, you know, we don't have two CEOs.
So you don't think they're questioning the viability of publishing?
Not at all. Not even remotely. Not even remotely.
That's encouraging.
I think they walk in and tell you, so what exactly is it that you do here?
Yes.
I'm a salesman. I speak to the customers. Right. What is it with you people? I'm a people person.
Yep. I think that's 100% accurate. And listen, I don't know what happened with Dan Didio, but Dan Didio's out for a reason. That's completely separate from all the layoffs.
I heard that it was more of a personal thing between him and Jeff.
I heard it was maybe that he did not promote the best possible corporate atmosphere. And
really?
if you look, a bunch of his boys, I guess we'll call it that, have left since he left and have joined hate groups in order to rage fund comics. And
I thought Dan Didio was a progressive. I thought that his whole mission was to recreate a more inclusive and representative DC universe. That's what 5G was supposed to be, which was his baby. That's what I heard.
Go ahead, Miracle Man.
So he might have been pushing to publish a progressive universe, or maybe not progressive, but a representative universe. Look at the people that were working there and were getting all the work. Mediocre, talented artist number 66473. I mean, it was all dudes. It was a wiener fest. All right, man. And it was a boys club. It very much was a boys club. This is what I'm hearing and kind of putting together. It was very much a boys club. And a bunch of these guys have since left because, you know, they're not going to be this. They don't have that anymore. They're not going to get that preference. Wiener. I just said that so Ace would have something to riff on in the
Ace bait.
Absolutely, I'm sure she loves it.
Absolutely, who wouldn't? That's interesting. Yeah, I hope it all ends up being okay. I'm sad for people losing their jobs and stuff. The story that I got, or the story that I gleaned, was doesn't seem true. So that what you said makes a lot more sense. What I heard is that major creative differences. Jeff Johns wanted a legacy DC universe that like maintained continuity, which he's always pushed for, and Didio was intent on a relaunch of the DC universe that was completely different, and they just had a huge creative. They had their own separate camps, and they talked a lot of shit to each other, and nobody really liked either of them. And now they're both kind of.
I'm not saying none of that's true. I'm willing to bet a bunch of that's still true, but I don't think that's the reason that you lost. Look at the positions they lost. You know, did they get rid of talent, or what's that, Rob?
I'm going to help correlate it for y'all.
Do it.
Okay.
You know Walter White from Breaking Bad,
name.
right?
Yeah.
I'm intimately familiar with Walter. Heisenberg is what I call him.
So he runs around the entire time saying, I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for my family. I murdered those drug dealers because I'm doing it to keep my family safe. Finally, you get to about the end of the series, and it's him and his wife. And he's like, I did it for my family. No, Walt, you did it for yourself. And that's the problem between Didio and the Johns camp. They weren't doing it for DC. They weren't trying to help the brand. They were trying to promote their own agendas.
I think that's true.
I got it.
Yeah, I think that's true.
It's like it's like they wanted to cut the baby in half so they could each have a piece instead of I don't know. I think it's in like the Torah or something. Never mind. Whatever.
Let's also remember last year, I think it was when they had the Superman book, they had to recall it, which pretty much could have paid for about 4 people's salary that they wound up terminating. They recalled a book just so that they could have a bigger dick contest of who has more power at DC to have a pull to do this, just so that they could recall it, say, if any of you vendors sell this, we're going to get you in trouble and pull your orders. So all they did was reship it with a different color person that was in the background of an advertisement page.
Yeah.
So maybe it's for the best in some ways that they get some fresh perspective into that publisher.
Yeah, not toxic. Yeah. Hopefully not toxic at that.
Not toxic.
Look at the people they brought in. It's all great people. It's a very diverse group. You know, we're getting Milestone back again, so Dennis Cowan's going to be involved. You know, the woman that they made as publisher or editor, she's phenomenal. I already love her. You know, like that's what they needed to do. They needed to mix it up. They needed to get rid of these people that have been in comics too long, too set in their ways. Comics are evolving. Well, that's part of it. That's definitely part of it.
Crackers with dongs. Too many of them.
Too many dongs.
Too many
dongs.
Get
these wieners out of here.
Get these wieners out of here. Exactly. So I've been reading. I can't believe by the way, let me just acknowledge the chat really quick. Yeah. Oh, hey, Ree, what's up? Ree, there's no wrongly scheduled videos in this business. It's when it happens, it happens. By the way, everybody wish Ree that she feels better because right now she's feeling sick. So feel better, Ree.
Yes, please feel better, Ree, because I was very excited to hear that gorgeous Australian accent. I'm not that Judah's not great because he is, but he's not Aussie, and that's kind of
all right, Miracle Man. Time to put it away. Come on. Come on, you're married.
I mean, you know, I'm just saying. Can a man listen? A man can't listen to something nice.
I've been told that I have a very sexy Emperor Palpatine voice.
Yes, yes. Actually, I enjoy it greatly. I'm not gonna lie. It's very nice.
Take your weapon, strike me down with all of your hatred, and your journey to the dark side will be complete.
Oh man, I don't think you're representing the tribe right here, man. I'm just saying I don't.
You sound like a real person. I always just sound like Savage Opress, no matter how hard I try.
Whoa, that's pretty good.
Because I sound like Clancy Brown from years and years of smoking cigarettes. Don't smoke, kids.
I also used to smoke. And yeah, smoking combined with being Jewish turns you into this, you know.
So you sound like Harvey Fierstein.
Harvey Fierstein, who, by the way, I met in person and I saw him perform as Tevye in New York on Fiddler on the Roof, and he spit on me. I was in the front row.
Oh, I would have bottled that spittle right then and there.
Yeah,
I would have gone home.
The man is a legend.
It would have been on eBay within an hour. I'll tell you that.
I'm sure you could have gotten a nice Jewish yenta to pay a nice grand for that.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That Jews are hunting for samples of Harvey Fierstein's saliva. So
yeah,
big ticket item.
God damn.
I know my yentas.
So you guys already knew that I had this.
Yes.
You guys were aware. Let me make myself big really quick, so to speak.
Be big.
Okay, I am large. So you guys knew that I had this, but now I found its friend, this, and now all I need is to manipulate Rob Worst into giving me a Fantastic Four number 48, and I will have the whole set. Also, I've been reading. I've been powering through the entire IDW run of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. A couple things to say. First of all, this is one of the best comic books that's ever been written. It's fucking phenomenal. I'm going to read every single one of these. I'm on the third omnibus, and I'm not slowing down. One thing I like about these omnibuy is that they collect the micro series and the main run in chronological order. So you don't have to buy anything else. You don't have to go read anything else. It's a perfectly compiled trade. And if you guys are into trades or hardcovers, you know that that's not always the case. Sometimes things are not in order, or they don't have everything or whatever. So this is awesome.
Great. That's great.
And then I'm rereading this because I missed a lot and I want to catch up, but I want to do it with a fresh headcanon. So, and of course, Venom 31 this week. I read the living shit out of, and I'm very eagerly following The King in Black. We'll talk about it a little bit more later. And that's pretty much all that's what I'm following right now. Oh yeah, Crossover 2. Read that. That's good.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
it's a slow build. It's a slow build, right? But it's good. First two issues were good.
Oh, absolutely. It's I don't know if you caught this. I think you probably did, but I don't want to portray it like I'm giving some kind of insider shit. But there's a panel in Crossover 2 that is a direct, overt reference to Spawn number 10. I don't know. Do you guys remember that one?
Oh yeah, I just read it over the summer actually.
It was written by Alan Moore. How could we not? It was one of the good ones. One of the only issues of Spawn I've ever read.
And it's never collected in the trades. Like I had to go elsewhere to read it because it wasn't in the Origins trades. But it's like a meta story that Spawn is like, he just got done fighting Angela, and now he's in some weird parallel universe where all of the superheroes are in prison because evil big money publishers are anti-creative. I don't know. I feel like there was a message there.
There was. Which is a weird one, seeing as how, what Todd McFarlane did to Neil Gaiman and Alan.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe Spawn number 10 exists in the crossover universe, and that's a major retcon. I don't know.
Might be.
So starting with Miracle Man, why don't you, I'm going to make you large really quick. Why don't you show us?
Look, first you got to see what Rob's holding up there.
Oh.
There it is.
Ooh.
There she is.
Okay, Rob, I made you large.
Yeah.
What can I do? Like, how much is that worth? That looks like it's got to be at least be a 7.
There's some problems with it. I'll tell you that at least. Somebody did try and do a little bit of a resto job on it. You can see a little piece of tape right there. That can come off. What can't is that.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, those corners.
Yeah, somebody wound up taking a little pen and filling it in. I'm sure someone can get that off, but otherwise, this is at least about a 7.
Damn.
There was a time, everybody's, now today we all know better than the restore, but there was a time in the early 80s where restoring your books was the recommendation. That's what they were telling people to do,
So one of the weirdest resto jobs I've ever seen, I just got recently.
Oh, yeah.
So I got a Hulk number 6 where somebody removed the cover and laminated it and put it back on the book.
Oh my God.
So fucking weird.
That is weird.
It looks great.
It does look
good. That was
presents well
recently, but otherwise it's fucking laminated.
Yeah.
Let me ask you so this is a stupid question, and I apologize in advance, but so the other day I was looking at reprints of like key issues, and they have reprints of key issues that don't have a barcode on the front, that have newsprint inside, that are basically a replica of the original. Mm-hmm. How often do people get away with selling those as if they were originals? Because it looks
the people selling the new 98s.
Yeah.
What's the tell?
Well, I believe, and it's different per book, but I think some of them, they have some change, like you'll have a black line around the trade dress, in the reprint, and you won't have it in the original. Those are facsimile editions, and there's a lot of facsimile editions out there. I think there's a Savage She-Hulk, there's a Deadpool, there's a new Teen Titans #2. The new Teen Titans #2, I saw somebody bid one up to about $170 on eBay without realizing it. There you go, the New Mutants.
Let's see it.
So if you see $1 and someone's asking for $300-400 for it, okay. If it says $395 or $399, your ass is getting ripped off.
Yes, that's the easiest way to tell. But they don't all do that. They don't know. But yes, that's the easiest way to tell.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. So, Merrick, here, let me just make Rob big again, real quick. Why don't you tell us what you? Oh, ooh.
This one I got from the same guy as the Fantastic Four 48. This one has 0 resto and is probably in about an 8.5.
What is that? That's like the first what 16? I think it was 15 issues of that first run. I can't remember.
18 issues.
18 issues.
It's short.
So far, I have 1, 3. That's it. That's all I got.
Let me ask you this. Let me change this real quick. So this is this. I thought this was a pretty good find.
Oh yeah, great book.
Is it?
Yeah,
it's a great book. It's a good story, but it's the only book of volume 3, I think.
It is. There's the reason that it's not a higher price book. I think, retail wise, you're looking between 10 and 15 on that book. But the reason that it's not a higher value book is they made a shit ton of them. Huge print run on that particular book. It's a great book. It's a beautiful story. Again, another book I just read over this past summer. But that's why they're not a big seller.
Static. How is Static? Explain Static being $85 and they printed the shit out of that?
Yeah, that one doesn't make sense. That same thing with New Mutants 98. New Mutants 98, there was probably a print run of something like 700,000 goddamn copies. I mean, there was.
To be fair, so did Hulk 181, but price and demand, right?
Hulk 181. That's the first full but second actual appearance of Wolverine, right?
Yep. Good job, Judah.
See, I know stuff. Cool.
Proud of you, bro.
Forgetting collecting for a second, what have you been actually reading? Like what have you been consuming, I should say, entertainment wise?
I got a book over since Wednesday. I went out and picked up a couple more books from my LCS, and I tore through them. And I talked about this last night on my show on Twitch with my homegirl Erin Siffer. So this is a Marvel movie special. Okay.
Ooh.
It is the Time Bandits. So it's Terry Gilliam, the Python guy. Terry Gilliam did 2 movies I like. Listen, I'm gonna keep it real. I said this last night. I'm gonna say it here. I do not care for Monty Python. Okay. Yes, I know the 4 scenes that are funny. Okay. That constitutes 0.01% of their output. They're not fucking funny. Okay? I said it. But yeah, I don't think they're funny. Okay. And I got booted off the show. Remember I told you I thought Watchmen was the greatest comic book movie of all time. So Time Bandits is a Terry Gilliam movie, and it is bad. Okay, I'm just gonna lay it out. It is a bad movie. It is a movie about 6 little people and an interdimensional gateway door, and they lose something and they have to go find it, and they get this kid. He's in his bedroom, and the door opens up, and he kind of gets sucked into the doorway, and they travel through time. Sean Connery is in it. They go to pirates, they go to Robin Hood, they go to the King Arthur's castle. It's a great movie for me at 7 when I saw it. If you watch it today, not as good. The comic, just so everybody knows, just as bad of a comic.
Oh, you don't say.
Really not great. Really not a great comic. Not a fan. But I had to have one. because I loved the movie when I was a kid. And then I picked up, this is a little bit older, but I had dropped this one because I was just getting Batmaned out. But this is the Batman Superman annual. And, first of all, Batmite, Mr. Mixyazpidalik. And look at that rogue gallery.
Mixzixplick. It's got to be Mixzixplick.
Listen, we'll call him
Spitlick.
Here's the way I feel about that character. However the fuck you pronounce his name is accurate. But look at the Pantheon, the rogue gallery in the background. Just phenomenal, right there. And this was actually a pretty good read. That was actually a pretty good read. Unlike this one, which I also read, not a good read. Not a good read.
When did those come out?
These came out over probably a couple months back.
Oh,
they weren't new.
Okay.
They weren't new.
Oh, and that's cover A, isn't it?
What's that?
And cover A as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that explains why I don't recognize that at all.
This is new, and I loved it. I've been loving every one of these. Tales from the Dark Multiverse.
I've heard really good things about them.
It's a my
Gail Simone just contributed something to it recently, right?
Yeah, she did. I think she. No, she didn't do War of the Gods. I think that was Vita Ayala, which was good. It was really well done. But Gail did one. I'm pretty certain. The Crisis on Infinite Earths one.
Didn't she also do something in the Merry Christmas?
Oh yeah, the DC's Very Merry Christmas.
There you go.
Very Merry Multiverse, whatever it is.
Yeah,
that was great. If you can't find that book was $10. I don't think shops ordered a ton, and it looks like I went to 3 shops today trying to find a second copy for my homegirl, and I could not find it. So I'm gonna be scrounging to get my hands on one.
No, about $3 now.
Yeah, well, I still got 3 more shops I can hit. We'll see.
I believe in you, Miracle Man.
Yeah, if I find them, I'll buy all of them. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna read all of that eventually, but I'm playing a lot of catch up. You know what I mean? Like I'm one of those. I have that sickness that is not. I'm not bragging. It's a bad thing, but I have that sickness where like, oh, there's something huge happening in DC. Fuck. Well, I guess now I have to go back to 2016 and like read
the intro, the lead up.
Right.
Yeah.
Because when I'm reading the actual thing, I want to be able to be like, oh, that references the Like, I want.
I have the same sickness, man. I understand entirely. Trust me. It's a disease. It's a disease. But yeah, no, that was it. This has been great. If you've read any of the events, they're all standalone. So if you liked any event from DC ever, they're doing a Tales of the Dark Multiverse about it. So you can pick it up. It'll be fun.
Damn, Rob, that's a big stack of comics you got there.
This is my backlog.
Oh, geez. Oh, my God.
Most of the shit's from this past Wednesday, so I better get on this before the coming Wednesday.
Absolutely.
There's a lot. I did pick up one thing today, though, I was super excited about. I just want to show off real fast because I now have 2 of the hardest pieces to find of Watchmen memorabilia. Okay. Now, I'm gonna say I love Watchmen. Okay. I love them. This is from the DC Heroes role-playing game. Okay.
Weird.
Super tough to find. The other super tough to find is the metal figure set.
What?
Whoa. Have you opened them?
I have not. They're sealed. I'm never gonna open them. Those are 2 items I'm never opening.
Oh.
But you know what? I'll try. See, there was a little piece of plastic missing on the back when I first got it. But there's the figurines. There's an owl ship.
Oh wow!
It has all of the characters. These are very tough to find, particularly complete, because they're small figures. People take them out, they play with them, they lose them, whatever. This one is this particular little book right here is one of the reasons Alan Moore told DC to go F themselves.
Huh.
Because he got nothing for this.
That sucks.
Go on.
There was a couple of reasons that Alan walked away from DC, and it was because he had a deal. He said when Watchmen wasn't in print, they would revert back to him. and Dave, and they would own it. Of course, that meant DC was never going to take it out of print. You know,
and I feel bad because I've bought the reprints that since then. Just
dude, listen, I hate myself for it, but I buy everything Watchmen. I'm sorry, Alan, and I fucking buy it.
Did you read all that before the Watchmen shit?
Oh fuck yeah, bro! The Darwin Cook, like, come on,
horrendous.
Yeah, it was bad, but it was beautiful because Darwin Cook fucking drew that. He drew the which one? The Minutemen one, I think.
Didn't Lee Bermejo and Brian Azzarello do the
yes?
Do the Rorschach?
Yeah.
And as I mean, Ree and Robo, we did a whole series on Before Watchmen, basically like reviewing and discussing all of the entries. Painful to make. Hopefully not painful to watch, but definitely painful to make. I think my favorite was there. Like we did one. There's one where Ree is just like, "Fuck this book, fuck this book, mate." It's so good, so funny, but it really is just pure garbage. Just the worst. And Robo says it's our best work. Maybe. Why don't you find out for yourselves? Cool. Well. There you go. There's the Watchmen board game that Miracle Man will never open.
Yeah, I really want to. I'm not gonna lie. The role playing game is totally defunct, but these modules are tough to come by. There's a whole set of these modules. It's D&D, but in the DC universe. And there's dozens of these. There's Justice League International. There's a Doom Patrol, which I also have. Superman, Wonder Woman, Teen Titans. The Teen Titans one looks badass, but some of these are really, really hard to find. So when I find them and they're not outrageous, I buy them.
So you have kids.
The thickness?
You got it.
Ooh, it's very.
That was a thin thing. I thought it was going to be like a board game sort of thing.
So don't your kids ever like stumble into your cool stuff room and they're like, "Daddy, I want to play with this," and you have to be like, "No, that's a collector's item." So I'm
gonna tell you a true story. I have a set of statues from several years ago when I worked for a Warner Brothers store.
Ooh,
okay. And here's the statues. There's a whole bunch of them. I'm not gonna pull them all down. But here I got Superman and Poison Ivy here.
That's Paul Dini's Superman, right?
Right. That's who it's based off of. These were done by Ron. I want to say Ron Lee is the artist's name. Yeah, he autographed them. They're a limited set of like this one's like 2,500. And I think the Poison Ivy's even less. I think that's only like 1,250. So I have a whole set of these. I got the whole Justice League, plus I got Harley and Poison Ivy because those were the only two non-Justice League they did. And my daughter, when she was like 3, she loved these things. They sat on my bookshelf, and the bookshelf was in my bedroom. And she picked up the Batman and the Harley Quinn, and she would have them kiss. She would go, dink, dink, kiss, kiss, right? And she's a little kid, and she went dink one time, and Harley broke off the base. And if I can tell you,
did you punish her?
No, she was 3. If I could tell you the look of horror on a 3-year-old's face, like you would have thought she just killed something and was looking at the police watching her do it. She was terrified, And
I broke Daddy's toys. Broke Daddy's toys.
Yeah. My youngest son, when he wanted to be put to bed, he wouldn't say, "Hey, I'm tired. I want to put me to bed." He would walk up to the comics, get my attention. He'd be like, "Hey, hey, 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 get my attention." I'd look at him, and he would do this. Touch. I mean, literally like, dink, and he knew he'd get put to bed for that. So, yeah. Now they're older, and they could give so few shits about this room that I have full of cool shit. So, yeah.
Mr. Worst, what have you been nerding out on lately?
So because Miracle Man sent me these a few weeks ago, I now got on a Dave Stevens kick. So I have this already. So that starts off my Rocketeer. He sent
What is that called?
Star Slayer.
Star Slayer.
issue
Okay.
number 2.
Very first
Let me
appearance
change
of
it.
Dave Stevens, Rocketeer.
So here we go. A little bit better so you can see.
There you go. Now we got that
So
side of
here's-
you at the worst.
Yeah, Star Slayer number 2. Followed by, trying to keep some of these in order, issue 3. And then it jumps to Pacific Presents number 1.
Is this a worthwhile story?
Yes.
I have yet to read it. I was about to start reading it last night, and then I got onto somebody's show. Aaron's show.
There you
With Miracle Man.
Yeah.
So this is issue 1 of Pacific.
That's 2.
Issue 2. Wait, hold on. I have it out of order, don't I?
You showed one. You showed one already.
Oh, okay. So that's 1, 2. Then it jumps to the special edition Rocketeer.
From Eclipse.
Ooh.
Yeah, this one I had to pay a little more for.
Chick in the bottom right. Let me see the chick in the bottom right.
Here, this is exactly why you want to get this series.
That's
Dave Stevens was personal friends with Betty Page.
Yeah.
Oh, it is Betty Page. You're right.
Yeah. Well,
That's me. Every time me and Robo go to the comic book store, that's him. He comes up behind me in the aisle and just blows his cigarette smoke in my face.
So then it jumps from Eclipse. It jumps over to Comico for 3 issues. The Rocketeer Adventure magazine.
Covers are getting a lot slicker.
This is the last one to come out by Dave Stevens.
Right.
And otherwise, I don't have a ton of his original work. The rest of what I have is these 3 books, which it's putting me on a course to getting all the good stuff from Dave Stevens. So I got the hardest to get first.
Yeah, good thinking.
Oh, did somebody say cheesecake?
Yeah. Oh, that's Dave Stevens all around. Dave Stevens is one of the greatest artists, and he died, I think, at like 39.
Those are definitely implants. There's no way those stick out like that. They look like they're inflated with air. Jesus, she's had some work done. I'll put it that way.
So yeah, the story behind there you go. I got that one. I don't have the DNA agents, but I have that one. The story behind Dave Stevens knowing Betty Page. Here's what I've read. Here's the tough one. This is the tough one. Space Vixens 3D. Gorgeous book. Gorgeous book. So the story behind him knowing Betty Page is he knew her, and he would actually come over and like do her grocery shopping.
Oh shit! Oh.
And all this, he like do like her little chores around the house because she was older. It was in the 80s, and he drew her into here. The character that plays the Rocketeer, Cliff Secord's girlfriend, is drawn exactly to look like Betty Page because the story takes place when Betty was, a superstar, and so he purposefully made her look exactly like Betty Page. And there's a scene, and I think it's this one, isn't it, Rob? Where it's a double page spread, and this lecherous photographer here has her naked, just covering her breasts when these thugs bust in, and he's photographing her, and he'd always wanted, and he got her blessing to do it, and everything, and so he drew her, basically bare-assed in his comic book.
Well, that's just lovely.
Yeah. Well.
Just for the chat, Rhea is correct. I was just tucking in my shirt just then.
Did somebody remove your microphone and you had to tuck your shirt in afterwards?
Yeah. It was a combination of I didn't know we were live and that I was just tucking in my shirt. So I'm doing
Rudy.
It's a Tubiani, a Tubin Julia, a Julie Tube, a Jubin. It was a Jubin.
A Jubin.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
That sounds like a racial thing right there. Jubin. I don't know. It's
real quick going into the chat. Danny said something I wanted to kind of address. Let me go back. He said, I got to go up a little bit. Danny wanted to know what we thought about Rorschach. I think it's boring as fuck, and I have zero interest in it. That's just me. But that doesn't mean that it sucks. It just means that it's not a Judah book. What do you guys think about that?
Rob, you go first.
I don't have a thought about that.
Okay, here's where I'm at with it. There's a couple of things about the Watchmen universe that have to be done the right way. If you introduce new superpower characters, much like Johns did with Doomsday Clock, or not superpowered, but new costume characters, they have to be based off of Charlton characters. They have to be.
Okay.
That's a requirement. So the Mime and the Marionette, that was based off of Punch and Julie from Charlton. You didn't
I
know
did
that?
not know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, Punch and Julie were villains introduced. I want to say Captain Atom, which is weird because that's like way mispowered right there. But so they have to be based off of that. If you're going to put any historical figures in there, you have to change them. Okay. The guy that they're dealing with, the main character so far, is essentially Steve Ditko, but the opposite of Steve Ditko. Okay, the cartoonist. First issue, the very final scene is literally a photograph of Steve Ditko drawn into the book, and it's a full page, and it's a very famous picture of him where he's leaning over his drawing board and looking up for the photograph. And when you think of Steve, if you look up Steve Ditko right now, I guarantee that's the picture that'll come up, one of them. But he's diametrically opposed to the real Steve Ditko. So Steve Ditko was Ayn Randian. This version of him is like super progressive man, and very distrusting of the government. Still, I guess that's accurate for Steve, but very distrusting of the government to the point where any federal person is essentially a Nazi.
Okay.
But so I'm happy with that. When I picked up the second issue and looked through it, I was like, oh my God, this looks like the most boring read I'll ever read in my life. And when I finally sat down and actually read it, I tore through it. I was shocked at how much I actually enjoyed the second issue. I was like, God, I'm going to read this, and I'm just doing it to read the series. But I tore through it. Once I got going, it was great. It was really well done.
Nice.
This is a mystery story. It's a mystery story.
I have 3 issues. I'm going to wait till it's over so I can tear right through them, because Tom King, reading him once a month is difficult, especially now just reading his new Bat Cat. It's written almost like Citizen Kane, jumping back and forth in time, and it feels like it would be more enriching to read it all at once rather than one book you read about, depending on who you are, myself, like 40, 60 books, and then you come back to that one. No, all in one sitting for me.
Hey, Ace, can I fuck, marry, and kill Helen Mirren 3 times?
Oh, she might kill you just for saying that, Judah. she literally just put a hit out.
Know where you live.
Rob's not fucking around. He's serious.
Let's see what we got going on here. Danny is caught up on Endless Winter. Did you say how good it is? Let me scroll down the chat. I will pick up. Yeah, Danny, why don't you tell us in the chat what you think about Endless Winter? I haven't actually read it yet. But I do really like Ron Mars and Andy Lanning. So here's the thing about Andy Lanning. I only know of him as a collaborator. I said he did stuff with Dan Abnett for Marvel. He's doing this with Ron Mars. I can't think of any Andy Lanning stuff that's just Andy Lanning. So it's interesting. Bloodstone? Oh, okay. Well, I sit corrected then.
And with Endless Winter, the final issue, nobody really knew that it was the newest issue of Flash that just came out.
Oh, okay.
That's not final. That's the next piece of it. So it's like part 3. They did a Superman special, and then they did the Flash regular issue. So that's like the 3rd part.
All I know is it's just one more issue of Flash I have not read.
Yeah, you and me both, brother.
So we're gonna get into the news, and let me tell you, folks, we got some news. We got some news. So the first item, and forgive me for I'm not super good at I'm still figuring out this StreamYard thing. So I'll show you guys the imagery when I get to it. But there are tons of new MCU announcements. So WandaVision, Hawkeye, Loki, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and What If. We already knew about that, as well as the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Well.
But now we can expect Armor Wars, Ironheart, and Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion is going to have Nick Fury. It's going to have Nick Fury and what's his face, the guy who played the Skrull dude. Yeah.
All I want to say is, please let me have a Skrull snake, so we can get that line from Sam Jackson. That's all I'm saying. I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes.
Motherfucking skull snakes. Yeah. Also, Thor: Love and Thunder is going to include Christian Bale as Gorr the God Butcher, which I've already said this a bunch of times to different people, but that means that Polly just said Ben Mendelsohn. She's right. Playing Talos. So Gorr the God Butcher means that he will be wielding an all-black necro sword, which definitely strongly indicates that we could have a Null in the MCU at some point in the future. So that's pretty damn exciting. And then Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special is coming out in 2022 on Disney Plus, which that's just too early to tell us about stuff, because now it's like I gotta wait, you know.
I know Gunn is doing the holiday special, but I hope he makes it so goddamn campy it sits up there with the Star Wars holiday special. Like, make it that bad.
Yeah, just blast over the shark. Don't even jump the shark. Literally,
no CG at all. Only practical effects, and you have to keep it under $100.
Give me Chris Evans with blush and eyeliner. That's what I want to see. All right.
And speaking of Guardians, we have I Am Groot, which is going to be a series of original shorts featuring several new and unusual characters alongside the shrub-sized version of Groot, Baby Groot, who will be voiced by Vin Diesel. Well, that's exciting. Makes me think of the original Annihilation era Guardians run when they had some of those one-shots that were just Rocket and Groot. Yeah. Those were pretty fun.
Yeah. Do you think it'll be animated to look like Scotty Young?
That would actually be fitting. That would actually be very fitting.
If Marvel executives, if you come along and you see this show, which we know is a high rate of possibility, please make it Scotty Young style. So, please.
Danny says, can we have a Black Winter in Thor 5? So we're about to throw the God Butcher at him, and you want a Black Winter as well? Give the guy a break, you know what I mean?
Do you want a Spider-Man 3 again?
Yes.
Actually, you know what? The Spider-Man 3 is looking to be like Spider-Man 3. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Hey, Judah, did you get asked by the director, hey, are you coming back for Spider-Man 3? And you went, holy shit, I don't remember even being in Spider-Man, but okay.
But not only am I going to be in Spider-Man, I will be coming back for Spider-Man.
Right. Yes.
Oh, have you guys heard of Quantumania? That's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
And it's going to feature Kang, played by Jonathan Majors, which I think is a pretty cool choice.
Oh, yeah.
So
good choice.
Is Kang going to be funny?
I hope Kang is funny. Yeah, he should be funny. Ree just brought up Spider-Man 3. I'm glad she brought it up because it's going to see the return of Andrew Garfield, Kirsten Dunst, the guy who played Doc Ock. What's his face? Alfred Molina, that's right. Tobey Maguire and Emma Stone. It's also reportedly going to have Charlie Cox as Daredevil, reprising his Daredevil role. Jamie Foxx as Electro, which we already knew, and J.K. Simmons as Jonah Jameson. What the hell is going on with this movie?
Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy could open the door for Spider-Gwen.
Good.
That could. That's a thing that could happen. Anything could happen. This is, I respect the fuck it. We're just gonna go balls deep, all in on this. So that's exciting.
I like that you went balls deep instead of balls down.
Yeah, balls.
I think Kevin Feige wound up dropping some mushrooms or some acid, and then wound up watching the movie Airplane and said, "Yes, that's how we're doing Marvel from now on."
I love it.
Everything.
You know what though? Spider-Verse and Crisis on Infinite Earths were massive successes for their respective companies. Massive. The Crisis on Infinite Earths was the most watched crossover event in television history. Okay, and which I don't know how much that's saying. How many crossovers have there been? And Into the Spider-Verse was huge. It's just huge. So both of those properties showed us people can accept, they can understand the multiverse, the casuals. Okay, and I'm sorry to use that term, but the filthy casuals can accept the multiverse and wrap their brains around it. And the hardcore nerds like us and our chat here, we want that stuff. You like the Flash movie. It's not to get off topic, but the Flash movie bringing in Michael Keaton. That is literally all I've ever wanted in my life, is to see Michael Keaton Batman meet some of these modern characters like that. If that happens, I can die a happy man.
Wow.
I mean that. You know what it used to be like, Rob? You remember what it used to be like? You never got any of this stuff. If they would do a new property, they would purposefully try to ignore everything that came before it. And now watching them embrace it, in the Marvel camp and in the DC camp, is just great.
Ryu wants to watch all the Spider-Man bang. So my question is, if the Spider-Man bang is that is it incestuous to have sex with yourself from another reality?
It's masturbatory.
Masturbatory. I don't know if it's masturbatory because it's another you.
I mean, if you get yourself off, that's.
But I'm not getting my. It's a question of self. Am I myself in other realities, or are those different me's?
Do you guys remember the movie Time Cop? Jean-Claude Van Damme. The villain travels back in time. Time Cop, he goes back in time, and the villain travels back in time to meet his younger self, and they can't touch because if they touch, they'll explode. All I'm saying is, ooh, Glynis,
well
played.
Insectuous.
Well played, Glynis. You win for the night.
The check is in the mail.
You win the internets today.
Hell yeah.
Ree says it's not gay if it's you.
Agreed.
I disagree. I think having sex with myself in another reality would absolutely be gay. But the question is, would it be?
I think you can rationalize as much as you want if you can sleep at night.
I mean, I don't care. If I wanted to have sex with myself in another reality, then that's okay. I'm do it. As long as my
flag fly.
As long as my other self was also a consenting legal adult, because that's important. I don't want to.
That's key.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah.
Anyway, imagine giving yourself sexual assault trauma to yourself.
That would be terrible. I would never forgive myself.
Right.
Yeah. This has really gone off the rails. All right. So Star Wars, some news about Star Wars. We were talking about Star Wars earlier. I'm just going to go down the list.
Do it.
And then we're going to talk about this. Do it. Yeah. Andor, which is a prequel to Rogue One, Bad Batch, which I can't remember what that's about, Acolyte, which I think is going to be some dope-ass Sith shit, Lando, which we all knew was coming, Rogue Squadron, holy shit, and I just saw it's going to be directed by Patty Jenkins, and I just watched an exchange between Michael Stackpole, who wrote the original Rogue Squadron books I read when I was a kid, and Patty Jenkins on Twitter, and they're like friends, and it's like,
That's so great.
There's a droid story, which it's going to have to be really good to get me interested because I don't really care. But Ahsoka, and we kind of talked. I've seen the conversations. So by all reports, at least by one very compelling report, what's her face is a really shitty
Rosario
person. Yeah, Rosario Dawson. So I hope that's not true. If it is true, then that's a huge shame because why is she
shitty?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna look that up, but I've heard it too.
What this guy is saying. So there was a guy who worked for her family, and apparently he's trans, and I can't remember if it was a trans man or a trans woman. It was a trans person that worked for Ahsoka, and apparently they received all kinds of abuse and they were assaulted, and it was just horrible experience for them. So I hope that's not true. It's only coming from them, I think. I don't want to misreport this story, so I'm not going to say anything else about it.
Everything I have heard about Rosario Dawson, because I remember her from the movie Kids. I remember watching her growing up. She's about the same age I am. She reads comics. She read comics when she was a teenager. She still reads them to this day.
She could still be a rotten human, though. So more to come on that.
It sounds like it was misgendering, purposeful misgendering. Which, listen, everybody makes a mistake. So if you make some accidental misgendering, you get corrected. You act like a fucking adult and say, I apologize.
I'm sorry. It's not that hard. And mean it, too. Right. You can't just hurt somebody and go, I'm sorry, and then go about your day.
Yeah. The bare minimum we can do in a civil society to treat each other with humanity is refer to each other in the manner in which we would like to be referred. That's bare minimum.
Amen. I 100% agree with that. That being said, divorcing it from Rosario for a second and just talking about the character of Ahsoka and the idea of an Ahsoka solo live action.
That's badass. Woo! Yeah. Yeah, that's
cool. I just started getting into Clone Wars, and judging from where she started way back when, which I guess Clone Wars was, 50, 60 years ago, and now in Mandalorian, that's more of the current timeline. So that's the childlike version. This is the mature version. I am all in on mature version.
Right. I'm gonna watch it. I don't care. I'm gonna watch every single one of these Star Wars properties. It could be the shittiest thing ever. I'm gonna watch it.
Looking at the chat real quick, guys. So Glynis is saying that the story is well documented. That's okay. Yeah. Definitely something to keep in mind. Yeah. So yeah. It is what it is. I don't know how to act about it yet because I don't know, because I still have to watch Ahsoka, so I don't know. But fuck Rosario Dawson if she did any of that shit. We got Obi-Wan Kenobi is coming,
and Ewan McGregor is going to be in it.
Yeah. Ewan McGregor is going to be in it, but not only is Ewan McGregor going to be in it, also God, I'm such a piece of shit. What's his?
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen is going to be reprise his role as Anakin Vader.
He is not.
You know what that also means? No, he is not.
He's not.
But Vader hasn't aged well.
Well, true.
Yeah,
he's gonna look like a horribly aged white man. Just shave his head, and he already looks like Vader when he died.
You were right. You were right about me. You were right.
They can bring back Maul. And I don't mean Darth Maul, I mean Maul and Savage Opress.
That would be so. That would be a little too dope. I think there is such a thing as too dope.
That's fair. That's fair. Although with what just happened in
Batman wielding a Green Lantern ring, that's too dope.
With what just happened in Mandalorian in the last couple episodes, I'd say that was too dope to do for a show, and they pulled it the fuck off. So I don't know if you've seen it, if you've watched it, Judah. I don't give any spoilers, but you watched it. Okay.
I haven't watched the most recent episode, but I've watched everything else, and I watched all of Rebels, and all of Clone Wars.
Right on.
And I read and comics and shit too. Like I'm balls deep in it. But
all right.
Real quick, Michael Malone is piecing out right now, but the reason he's piecing out is because he's writing a comic book right now, and nice. I'm not gonna give any spoil. I'm not gonna say anything about it except I've seen the script for the first 2 issues, and was blown away. It's fire. And I'm not just saying that because he's my friend. I'm saying that because I had no idea he was a writer. I just had no idea. I just thought he was a regular guy. And I saw these scripts, and I'm like, oh my God. Nice. Oh, wow. This is. Be prepared. There will be a Kickstarter. There will be a. This is going to get made. It has to get made because the world needs it. It's very good.
It'll be in my collection. That's for sure.
And he'll sign it for you in blood.
But preferred.
Yeah. Rangers of the New Republic was also announced, which sounds cool. Sounds like some secret agent military shoot 'em up type stuff, which I'm always down for. And then Visions, Star Wars Visions. And this one is anime shorts.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about it. I'm going to watch all of these. So it's not a matter of if I'm going to watch it, but my excitement level right now.
Visions will be the worst of them, but it will look probably the best. They'll
Right.
get like Studio 4C, really nice animation studios, I'm sure. But
Right.
if any of us have watched like the Batman anime or the Matrix anime, can you remember the story?
Nah.
Do you remember how it looked? It's like, yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
cool looking, but
Yeah,
I
cool.
don't remember for shit.
That Bad Batch, you had said earlier you weren't sure what that Bad Batch was. The Bad Batch is a group of stormtroopers, of clone troopers who refuse to follow order. What order is it, Rob?
Order 66.
Right. Yeah. So that could be a good show by itself. That one I could be into.
Are you guys seeing my screen share right now?
Nope.
No, sir.
Okay, I'm trying to share a screen really quick. And I'm failing at it. Yep. Okay. I figured out how to do it. Share.
For that, and I'll call you after.
Can you see it now?
It's starting.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let's take a look at these set photos from the Hawkeye series. Check this shit out.
Badass.
Wow. Did you guys
She looks
read
great.
Did you read the Matt Fraction run? I think this is going to be about the Matt Fraction run.
Definitely. There's a shot of Jeremy Renner at another, like by himself, where he's all taped up, like at the beginning of Fraction's run. So I think you're right. I think that's exactly where they're going with it.
Wow, this looks awesome.
Yeah,
she looks awesome. Look at her. Look at her. She looks awesome.
She's nailing the character. Just nailing it. There it is.
Okay.
The coolest covers on that series. They were like a minimalist cover, but they had this Steranko style to them. I just loved them.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. Oh, hey, real quick before we move on, our very own Glynis is going to be doing a first look for High Republic. They have access to an early copy of the book, and they will be doing it for IFLC. So it's going to be pretty awesome, and make sure you keep an eye out for that.
Fantastic.
We're recording it on on Monday, but I'm not going to be there because I have real life like shit getting in the way. I'm actually super disappointed because I'm pretty stoked for that. How do I turn off screen share? Oh, there it is. Stop screen, and now we're back. I can do computers.
I've watched attorneys learn things in the middle, and you're doing better than them most of the time.
Oh, wow. Thank you. That's very nice of you to say. I appreciate that. Okay, so we're going to move on in this in the news really quick. Okay. So we'll leave we'll leave Disney alone for a minute because I just feel like the time has come for us to kind of not give them all this free publicity, which we're going to give them.
Stop feeding a dead mouse.
Yes, feeding a dead mouse. God damn. So Aliens is coming back.
Yes.
That's pretty exciting. So the publisher announced Monday that March will bring the launch of Alien #1, the beginning of a new series by writer Philip Kennedy Johnson and artist Salvador LaRocca, who did Darth Vader with Kieran Gillen.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
But it's going to take us to never-before-seen corners of the alien mythos and perhaps most interestingly introduce a deadly new breed of xenomorph through the eyes of Weyland Yutani mercenary. A Weyland Yutani mercenary. Details beyond that are slim, but the fact that Marvel, I guess we are still on Disney, is confident enough to lead off its new incarnation of the franchise with a new twist on the creature is exciting. Hey, so I'm like, everything that has to do with aliens is always mixed feelings for me because I love Aliens. I love the first two Aliens movies a lot. They're actually my favorite movies.
Yeah,
but I feel like
David Fincher and the producers screwed him over.
Oh yeah.
The writers screwed him over too. They killed Newt off camera between movies.
That's so bad. That was so bad.
That's such a betrayal of just the foundational concepts of fiction.
Right.
You understand the original actress didn't want to come back for it, and she wanted to live her own life, which she did, and it's fine. They could have recast her. Instead, they went, "No, we're going to kill a kid."
The only reason, like the biggest reason for why we care what happens in Aliens, which is one of the best movies of all time.
Oh yeah.
The single most important element of that drama cast away and discarded like she was nothing.
Oh yeah,
That
agreed.
one scene, get away from her, you bitch. That awakened childhood Rob to become teenage Rob. That scene going, wow, a strong woman like that, that's hot.
Yeah.
So that alone, killing Newt, removed her entire reason for being. By the time she kills herself in Alien 4, she's ready to go.
Nice.
It was the way they disrespected that character, man. I don't want to get on I don't want to rant about it for the next hour, but it's still pisses me off to this day. I would say, so, you know, I love action movies and I love action heroes like Bond and, you know, John Rambo and John Wick and all these like action. I love action heroes. Ethan Hunt, like I love these people. I would say that without a doubt, Ellen Ripley is the best action hero. Like out of all of them, I would say she's the best. And I mean, my favorite part of Aliens is when she's in the elevator and she's duct taping her like weapons together, and you see the numbers counting down, and you can look in her eyes, and she's like sweating bullets, like she is afraid, because who wouldn't be? She's going into hell. She's literally on her way to hell to rescue Newt, this little girl. And you see her just like processing that and then stealing herself. And it's like, it's not an action scene. It's just a moment of like raw drama that is like so compelling.
Absolutely. Man. Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
So to get back to it, I'm excited, but I can only there's a ceiling to how excited I can be for any Alien content that doesn't involve Ripley.
Yeah.
That's all.
Weren't they talking about an Alien TV show too? Like a weekly show?
Yes, that is confirmed. That is going to happen.
Yeah. So we got the show and the comic because, you know, Disney bought those properties. There's no way they're going to let them sit.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you guys ever see the South Park episode where Mickey Mouse
yes.
does that thing to the stormtrooper?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel like Mickey Mouse is going to be doing that to a lot of things.
Yeah, it's you know, that's actually, you know, and to kind of bring that back to our beginning conversation, that's one of the reasons I don't feel like DC's going anywhere. You know, you got three, but you've really got two cross-platform multimedia conglomerates in the world. You got Disney and you got AT&T. They both own movies. They both own streaming. They both own television shows. They both own comic book publishers. You know, and I don't see either. I cannot see somebody sitting in a boardroom in AT&T going, you know what? Let's surrender an entire form of media to the only competitor we have. How's that sound, guys? You want to do that? You want to surrender an entire form of media? Yeah? Okay, let's do it.
We need to fill our coffers quickly. That would be the only explanation. But
apparently they greatly enjoy money. So
right, yeah. It's the cheapest, even if comics run at a net loss for the next 50 years, it is the cheapest IP farm in their portfolio.
Absolutely. They're never going to let it go.
$1 billion movies with it.
And look, it's not like they're just using the old concepts of these IP. I mean, they're bringing in Jane Foster Thor. They're bringing in Gorr the God Butcher. These are things that came out in the last 10 years.
Right.
So they're still cashing, even if they don't sell any comics, they're still getting major value from these stories.
Flash is going to do Flashpoint. That's 12 years ago of a story. That's not that long ago, you know. So
the IP is valuable, whether they are selling comics or not. So
right.
So speaking of things that are not Disney, this time serious for real. This time, there's a new Godzilla comic deal reached between Toho and IDW. Nice. Godzilla will once again rampage through the United States this coming April, thanks to a newly brokered multi-year publishing partnership between IDW Publishing and Toho International Inc. The King of Monsters will appear in a wide variety of published products, including comic books, coloring books, art books, journals, and puzzles. Godzilla will be joined by other iconic Toho kaiju, including Mothra and Rodan. And also, for those who don't know, a kaiju is a Japanese for a strange beast. So I'm a kaiju in a way. Anyway, what do you guys think about this?
Ultraman do that came out from Marvel? It's on like issue 3 or 4 by now. It exactly hasn't lit the world on fire. I'm hoping for something different from Godzilla. I love Gojira. I love the original Godzilla films, but I don't know. I remember constant series coming out from Godzilla. It's just not made for me.
I think Godzilla works in small doses, miniseries. I can't see. I have a difficult time seeing an ongoing Godzilla series. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but I have a difficult time seeing it.
I read Godzilla in Hell was pretty good. It's visually stunning.
I heard that was amazing.
Right before that, the Half Century War with James Stokey is probably my favorite Godzilla story of all time. If you haven't seen that, it is fucking gorgeous. I mean, it's James Stokey, I love him, but
are you talking about the anime on Netflix? The
comic.
I haven't read that.
Yeah, so Half Century War, literally each issue is a different decade, and it follows the same unit of Japanese soldiers dealing with Godzilla's return, and they get whittled down, and new people come in, and you got this one guy who's writing a journal, and it's like every 10 years, here's Godzilla again, and it's each issue you see further advancements in their technology and how they respond. The very first one, it's just this guy running around screaming like a lunatic, because Godzilla is here and he's destroying Tokyo. But then 10 years later, in the next issue, when he comes back, this guy's kind of cool and calm. He knows what to do. He's evacuating people. And then in the next one, he comes back and he's got these super weapons that they're using against Godzilla. And then I think by the end of it, they're aiming him at another kaiju. But that was my favorite Godzilla story. But it was only 5 or 6 issues, and I don't think they could have done that series as an ongoing. Even though I love James Stokey's work, and B thought it was a great concept.
I'm 100% going to get that. You've completely sold me. I need to read that.
It was great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe if Brian Hitch was drawing it, I would want to see it for the building destruction, because Brian Hitch does building destruction like no one else's business. But otherwise, I don't know.
I think Godzilla is the second thing. Actually, yes, Godzilla is either the first or second thing that I became a nerd for.
Nice.
And it started when I was like a little kid. Like I'm talking like 5. I'm like sitting. I specifically remember just sitting with my dad and watching all the old Toho movies. Watching was it Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, Mechagodzilla. We just watched all those and I was obsessed. Like the teacher was like calling my parents because during class I was just drawing pictures of Godzilla. Something about it just really like enamored me.
Nice.
So I'm always gonna have a soft spot for that. I'm always gonna be interested in other Godzilla stuff. And that Netflix anime is really dope. So I highly recommend it.
I'll watch it.
Oh yeah. So that's exciting.
Care about the characters.
Yeah.
Are you guys fans of Avatar?
Yeah.
The Airbender or the Blue Alien?
Airbender.
Nah,
not so much.
I love Airbender. The other Avatar, I could take it or leave it.
So Miracle Man is blue people Avatar,
right?
And Rob Worst is
Airbender
Avatar. Okay, got it. Dark Horse is releasing a Suki themed graphic novel in 2021.
Who asked for that?
It'll be focused on the Kyoshi warrior Suki next year. The graphic novel is titled Suki Alone. Suki Alone. That sounds like a bad translation, but anyway, it takes place during the events of the 3rd season of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Suki is separated from her allies and locked in the Fire Nation prison known as the Boiling Rock, where she fights to form a community with the other prisoners. I'm sure it'll do well. I think there's a huge fan base. I did start watching Avatar and I liked it. I just haven't finished it yet. Robo watched the whole thing with his son and he loved it and he would not shut up about it. So it must be good.
Great, but it felt like the last season should have been longer, and it should have been, but they kept screwing around with the time schedule, just like the best way I could compare it to is Firefly towards the end. They just didn't have faith in the series, but it had a really hardcore fan base that would follow it everywhere. So it was really hard to take off the air. And every episode towards the end cost at least $1 million each to produce. And by the time it ended, we're like, where's the rest of it? There's more.
Our chat. So we're kind of ambivalent about it right now, but our chat is exploding. Glynis almost dropped their phone in. Let me find it.
Hot noodles.
For some reason, I don't see. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So Glynis almost dropped their phone in hot noodles. Ace is like, what? I want more Suki now. Yeah, everyone is really excited, and Ree is sharing pictures of moths, I think, so that's cool too. But yeah, so this is pretty big news for a lot of people. And it's a super popular franchise. So right. I'm even, I get excited even when it's something I'm not into. I get excited when it's a thing that I know will make a lot of other people really happy,
The thing about these types of properties is every time one of them is successful, even if it's not something that you like, what do they say? A high tide raises all ships, something along those lines. And that's what's happening right now. Every time you get one of these properties that hits it, that it just encourages somebody to come along and go, you know what? What's the other property in this, in animation, in manga, in comics, in whatever that is ripe and ready to come out and be made into something new? And, Walking Dead is a prime example. You get this weird black and white comic book, blows up as a TV show. Then all of a sudden we get Preacher, and we get, they're just like, let's just get as many awesome properties as possible. We got The Boys. Who the hell thought The Boys would be a TV show? But without the success of some of those others, probably wouldn't have gotten it.
And that's what makes that mindset is what makes us, I'm sorry to seem like an elitist, but that mindset is what makes us better than the frog people, because I mean it's one of many things that make us better than the frog people. Right. Not even talking about ethics, forget it. We're ethically better than them, but we're also just better fucking fans, because they want to shit on everything that isn't tailor-made specifically for them on an individual level. And that hurts.
They tear down.
Yes. Their small minds don't understand that hurts the things they like too.
Right. Right. It's not like sometimes somebody's going to come along and go, you know what, let's throw out every comic on Earth and let's make a really crappy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Battletoad ripoff be the only thing anybody can buy. That's never going to fucking happen.
It just pushes the whole genre and medium into obscurity.
Right.
How about I make it really easy for everybody to understand? If there's no readers, there's no collectors. If there's no collectors, there's no more value to your collection. So we want more people to come in. If you shit on those same people that might be new readers, they may no longer want to hang out and stay with the hobby anymore. And they go away. And when they go away, so does the value of your books. Bring people in, don't push them away.
I apologize for not being enthusiastic about the moths. Moths are awesome. They're like ugly butterflies, which is cool.
Would you bang them off?
Oh,
that's a question in the chat right now.
Question for the panel: would you all bang Mothra? I do it just to have it on my resume. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. It's one of those things that I just kind of want on my resume. Although I probably. It's like being in the X-Men. I probably would not survive the experience.
Can you go to the healing gardens afterwards? Because I'm pretty sure you have to talk.
You need to.
Yeah.
You need to.
Do I bang Mothra, or does Mothra bang me? I think is the question.
Mothra bangs.
I think the answer is Mothra isn't even aware of my existence while I'm banging Mothra. I'm grabbing one of those giant legs. Just.
How does one even flirt with a Mothra for the first time? You see Mothra at the bar.
How do you court Mothra?
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby. Your pollen smells so fucking good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll be your Rodan.
Oh, man.
That was a stupid line. I shouldn't have said that. All right. Anyway. Oh, wait. Before we move on, we're still on Mothra. I used to write Mothra fanfic, so I can genuinely answer these questions.
Goddamn, Ace. Of course you did.
Okay.
I believe it. I have zero reason to question that.
I fucking love this community, guys. I love it. I love you guys. I love the people in the chat. I love everyone who watches us. I love this whole bubble of people, this expanding bubble of people. I love it. That's just the kind of shit that I need in my life. Thank you, Ace. Thank you. I don't want to kill Helen Mirren. Anyway,
Oh, let me do this real quick. Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter, Helen fucking Mirren.
There you go. Now she'll be happy.
So I don't want to dwell on this because I'm just personally like kind of bored with talking about Marvel, even though I love Marvel, but there is this thing called Enter the Phoenix coming out soon. And according to Tom Brevoort, it is which I don't know why he's commenting on it, but anyway, it is going to be a rebirth of Marvel Comics. So we're looking at like a massive relaunch, kind of like post Secret Wars, but I think it's going to be even more relaunchy, which doesn't make me happy, by the way. I don't like continuity reboots. I like the same continuity forever, but that's just me. So maybe it'll be better for other people. If it brings in a bunch of new fans, then I'll tolerate it. If it doesn't bring in a bunch of new fans, then it's just a big fuck you to me. So that's how I see
think
it.
For collectors, perhaps, and maybe I'm just speaking for myself, maybe I've been looking recently for a jumping off point so I can go back for the books that I actually care about instead of collecting a series that I'm not even really reading, such as Flash, such as Catwoman, such as Detective. I'd rather throw my money into things where it'd be like Amazing Spider-Man from under issue 100. I'd be looking for a jumping off point, and I couldn't figure a better point than post Future State and post Rebirth.
Yeah.
If something wasn't being well written, pick it up a year later. You might pay a little extra, but at least you didn't pick up all the crap that just fills room in your room.
Yeah, you know what? This is one of the reasons that I personally am pushing more and more in the idea that, other than like key titles, your Justice League, maybe your Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman, most books, most characters, they don't need a monthly title. Give me a mini. You got a story to tell. Put it out in a mini series. Don't give me 9 filler issues until you have another story to actually tell.
The Silver Surfer should always have it ongoing.
He would be probably top of the list of miniseries only characters in my personal opinion. And I just got kicked off the show. And no offense, just not. I don't know. Here's the reason why. I'll tell you why. I don't think most writers can write a compelling story with the characters. Not that the character doesn't have the ability to have compelling stories, but I don't think most creators can. And you'll see that because of, basically look at the entire 90s run. It was essentially all the same story. It really was. It never ended. It was the exact same story.
Hey, I am wearing pants,
There we go.
You were saying?
I got nothing else to say. I'm good.
Yeah, I have a weird love for the Surfer that isn't even rational, so I'm incredibly biased. But yeah, I agree with you. I think people are a little tired of getting. I think it's hard it makes the entire thing very like dissuasive for new fans when it's so too much. It's overload,
Right.
And nobody wants to read part of a story, and you're in a situation where you're always just getting part of a story, and I don't think that works for most people. Not everyone is this, or that,
right. Right.
If you're a comic fan, you always have to be satisfied with being in the constant state of limbo. You will get an ending of sorts, but much like life, there is no beginning, there's no ending. It just keeps going and keeps going. Characters die, you might die, but the story keeps going. And we have to accept it.
That's just life. It's a sad and really awesome existence at the same time. Speaking of so this is very exciting. Kid Quick, DC's Future State Flash, just ran in to the DC multiverse. The race towards DC Future State has started, and one of the upcoming events, new Flash Jess Chambers, has officially made their debut to stop the Star Conquerors, a story in DC's very merry multiverse by Ivan Cohen. Eleonora Carlini, Ulysses Areola, and Becca Carey on sale now. While they seem to set in the while they seem to be the Flash in the next Justice League, Just Chambers is still a teenage hero now, known as Kid Quick for the moment. So this is a non-binary Flash, which is fucking dope, incredibly dope. Hey Rob, you were holding something up. Let me put it back on you really quick. Yeah, so let's see that. Let's take a look at that. Oh, let me see it again.
So this is the book. I haven't read it yet. Miracle Man has, so he can elaborate on this a little more. But here you go.
So,
Nice.
so listen, I'm going to tell you, I did read this, but I didn't read all the stories yet. The first story I read was the one with the Sunshine Superman, because he's hippie Superman, and I love that character. He was a once and done character. He showed up in one issue of a Justice League book in the mid '60s, and then didn't appear again until Grant Morrison's run on Animal Man when he was dealing with characters in limbo, and that was it. And then we didn't see him again until Grant Morrison said, "Hey, Multiversity, they're one of the multiverses of Earths. I think it's like 32 or something." And so, obviously, Grant Morrison loves the character because he's played with him more than the original creator. But there's like 5 or 6 little stories in there, and these anthologies are usually really hit or miss. Just to be 100% honest, most of the time. This one, every single story has been fire. Absolutely, Danny. DC Mary Multiverse has been absolute fire. You know what? And I'm going to say the reason I grabbed this one was because last year's the Nuclear Winter one was also fire. Every story was bomb. So this one, again, same thing. Really good story. It does introduce one of our future state characters a little bit. Listen, you put little known fact about me. If you put Captain Carrot on the cover of just about anything, I'm going to buy it. I have loved Captain Carrot since I was, a little guy. He came out when I was like 3 years old. And it's just a bunch of ridiculous superpowered animals. So, love the book, love the character. So I will always buy it, but it was absolutely worth it.
Wait, where did
Oh, and he's gone.
Where did Rob go? Rob,
he might have hit a button.
Oh, I thought he was like Captain Carrot. Fuck that.
Listen, if y'all ever want to read the best comic to ever read on acid, it's Captain Carrot and his amazing zoo crew in the Oz Wonderland War. Not that you should do acid, but if you ever want to read one that's good to read on acid, damn, Hayes, that's fuck, girl. If you ever wanted to read one that's good on acid, Oz Wonderland War with Captain Carrot and Amazing Zoo Crew.
I can't read on acid. It's hard to see the letters. Look who decides to come back. I said it. They always come back.
My internet took a shit. I stayed here.
Well, I'm glad your internet is regular, at least. Cricket. Okay. Anyway, fuck you guys. Anyway, so let's see. Ace said, so that kind of does it for the news. We're done with the news. We got some nice things in the chat. Respawn says old Captain Carrot comics come with acid included, or that Danny says old Captain Carrot comics come with acid included. That is a bargain. Rob has been a solid friend and has a cute dog who has an adorable bow. Where is it? Where's the dog? I'll believe it when I see it.
Doggie's in the other room, hopefully taking a nap. Recharging until 3 a.m. so she can clearly wake me up.
Glynis, Rob looks like he smells really nice. You do. You do look like you smell really nice. Yeah.
I smell like Coach number 3.
I actually smell like a cheesy gordita crunch that's been left in the car. So nice. Which, by the way, they last a really long time in the car. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Let's see. Sunshine Superman isn't from the 60s book. This is from Gratuitous Sex. Is that true?
Is my internet going to shit again?
Oh, no. Cool. Well, that kind of does it for this this show. Didn't you guys have anything any last parting shots that you want to make? Let people know things you're working on or things that you just want to say. The floor is yours.
You go first, Miracle Man. I can hear you.
I can't hear Miracle Man.
But I know that my internet is like taking a shit because it just kept kicking me out. But for those that aren't aware, on Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the Not Near Mint Show, Miracle Man, myself, Lady Fantastic, and Comics on the Mind will be having David Pepos. He's going to be promoting his new project, Scout's Honor. I believe that's new out from Aftershock. And
he's such a good guy.
We're going to be doing episode 6.
David Pepos is a great dude. And his stuff is really enjoyable.
We're going to get him to play a special game. This is going to be the third part, finally, of Fuck, Marry, Kill Independent Edition, and we're going to be using some of his characters.
Oh wow, that is, I'm definitely going to tune into that because that sounds like a lot of fun. Did Miracle Man die? Are you still there?
I'm back. I'm sorry, I had to run.
If you take a look at the private chat,
Sax, you're sorry.
I see it. I see it now.
Sax, you're right. Bad. I got mixed up with another character. I was thinking of the one where you got the hippie playing the flute or whatever it is on the cover of Justice League. I think it's one like 67 or something like that. Anyway, sorry. But yes, I'm sorry. I had to run and use the bathroom, but I will be there tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Wednesday night with Rob, with David Pepos. I'm looking forward to that. David's a great interview and a fun guy.
Awesome. Yeah, super stoked for that. Definitely check out these guys' channel.
One more thing. Later tonight at around 8-9 o'clock tonight on Lady Fantastic's channel, we will be going live just to show new books, stuff we picked up, chunks of our collection, and you see I have like a lot. So we're going to be showing some of that stuff at about 8-9 o'clock. We haven't talked yet. She just asked me if I wanted to go live tonight, and I went, yeah. No further information.
All right, well, there you go.
Awesome. Sounds good. We have some exciting things coming up as well. We're going to be doing an interview tomorrow. You'll see it when it posts, but we also have some cool little content things that we've been working on, fun videos, maybe certain videos about why certain superheroes suck. It's all in good fun, but we're also going to be very closely covering Null and the King in Black, and we're working on some content for that as well. Make sure you check out Ree's Dune series because it's baller, truly baller. Follow Ree on YouTube because she also does some really sweet live streaming of video games. I was watching her do Cyberpunk, and it was so awesome. It's really good. Also, check out the Robo Strange on Twitch because it's funny, man. He's playing scary games, and he's a big wuss, so it's really fun to watch him wuss out while playing these scary games. And he's an overall just charming and entertaining man. Anyway, thank you. I want to thank everybody for joining us. I want to say thanks to Rob for joining us. Thanks to Miracle Man. You guys are a blast. You're welcome back on this stream anytime, and it's always a treat, a privilege, and a big laugh to hang out with you guys.
You know who else is a good interview? Ace.
Who? Oh,
she does a show called Brags and Boards.
That's right.
Yes.
Definitely. I've seen it. It's really good. Definitely be sure to check that out. Follow Ace on Twitter too, because they're really funny.
Oh yeah.
So, Read Run Natural.
Cool. Take care, guys.
See ya.
Don't die.